I'm joined by our latest evictee, Toya! I've got to say, Toya...
Yeah.
For that crowd and the amount of booze you've got, you are taking it very well.
Of course I have to.
Because I thought you'd come out here going, I'm not taking any...
Honey, if they're booing, it's because they love me, honey. What do you mean?
And now you're setting off again.
But they're all following me on Twitter, I bet ya. All of them.
How does it feel to be out?
I'm so relieved.
Honestly, though.
Honestly, I'm really relieved because I felt like it got to a point where I wasn't having fun anymore.
Yeah.
I was bouncing off the walls in the beginning.
It doesn't look like anyone's having fun.
No one's having fun. And unfortunately, Helen is the common denominator in the house. I think if she leaves, everyone, you'll see fun start re-entering in the house. She's regulating the fun.
OK. We're going to get on to Helen in a little while.
I know.
Let's start with now. Right. Why do you think you've been evicted? Why do you think you had that reaction? I had that reaction because I'm not afraid to stand up for myself. I will never be backed into a corner. It's just not going to happen. And I'm the type of person that I say what's on my mind, I keep it real, and I refuse to ever be a victim, not in that house. No way. OK, we're going to take a look at you in action in a little while. But first, your fellow housemates voted you as the Power Housemate.
They're confused.
So how did that make you feel? Were you wanting to have the power, or was it something that once you got, you thought, you know what, I don't know what I want to do here? Because all the paranoia that happened with that secret Power Housemate, I mean, surely, did that put you off?
No. To be honest, I wanted it, partly because I did want red velvet cake, partly. And also as well, I felt like I was more neutral, like I could, and that's the reason why they voted me for Power Housemate, because they knew that I'd be very honest and I'd be very balanced, but I just didn't realise that balance meant looking after a certain side, and I'm not about that. I mean, I am Hurricane Toya. When I'm annoyed, I'm really angry. But I'm the type of person, I own it. When I've done something wrong, I'll apologise. You saw me and Matt have that conversation. I'm a type of person, when I'm annoyed, you will know. And I'm not a 1 to 10 type of person. You take me to that point. I don't regret any of that. The only regret I have is being angry enough to empower somebody else to get me to that point. That is the only thing I regret, but, you know.
It seemed quite a shame, because the whole night, when you had the argument with Ash and Marlon and Winston, when, you know, when you'd vetoed their nominations, it seemed like he was just confused as to what... none of them seemed to get what you'd actually had to do. Do you know what I mean? And that you hadn't nominated, you'd taken away. And that even though you'd taken them away, it hadn't really changed anything apart from Kim was safe. That was it. It seemed the problem was when you got defensive, and you said, everybody calm that down.
Sorry, Mum.
Your tone kind of gets quite high, and it comes across quite overwhelming.
Yeah, I think what people need to bear in mind is myself and Matthew were sitting there, and before I blew, on 2 occasions, I said, let me explain. And I wasn't given that opportunity to explain. I had Winston just talking nonsense. I had Ash talking nonsense, and I had some other people screaming and shouting, and it's all on us. At the same time, people hear, but they don't listen. And I felt backed into a corner. I had to defend myself, and that's exactly what I did. I wouldn't change any of it.
Do you think you could have stayed calmer and defended yourself? Because if you had, you might not be out here tonight.
Maybe, but I don't regret anything that I said. For me, I just felt backed into a corner, and I felt like I really had to defend myself.
Do you feel like Matthew kind of left you out there?
No,
to deal with it all yourself?
No, Matthew deals with things different to me. I don't judge him on it. Even when Helen, you know, she used that against him to say that I'd taken the flak, I didn't take the flak. I was defending myself. I wasn't defending Matthew. Matthew dealt with it the way he wanted to, and I don't look at him any different for it at all.
OK. Let's talk about Marlon. Where did the beef begin?
Beef? Fully lamb.
What was the problem with you and Marlon?
Do you know what the problem is with Marlon? He needs this to validate him, and I get that. But Marlon's ego is over here, and really he's over there.
But what was the one thing? We don't seem to know where this problem with the two of you began.
Do you know something? When I walked into the house, my spirit really didn't take to him too much. And I think that I just don't like it when people are overly arrogant. It's like they have to the overcompensating for something. He's not a leader. I don't respect people that are sheep. I don't respect people that don't respect themselves. He doesn't respect himself. Where it came from, I don't know, but we're here, so, you know.
OK, enough of Marlon. We've got to get on to Helen. Hurricane Helen kind of entered the house when Hurricane Toya had calmed down.
Oh, cool.
What do you think of her behaviour?
She's a very confused girl. She's got a lot of issues. She's very angry, and her anger is very sporadic. She's just confused. I lost hope over Helen.
Well, you were quite close early on.
Yeah.
And then the last couple of days, you haven't had anything to do with each other.
I haven't.
What was the changing point in that relationship? Because when you had the argument the other night, she was the one that took you to the toilet. She was the one that tried to calm you down. And then, again, we don't really know what that moment was when everything changed with the two of you.
The moment changed when we had a conversation. Well, I conversate, she roars. And I took her into the toilet and I broke it down for her, and I was completely honest.
We saw you say that she needs to think about the things she's saying.
She does, and I really broke it down for her, the way I would break it down to my friends on the outside who I genuinely love and care about. And she took that and she ran outside and she started seeking some type of affirmation outside. At that point, I was like, you know what? I'll wash my hands of her. She's dug her grave. The rest is up to her.
How much does she dominate the atmosphere in the house? Because Chris has been in the diary room saying she kind of sets the tone for how the whole day goes, really.
She sets the tone. Usually her mood is dictated on whether she gets red wine or not. So if she ain't getting red wine, beep is going to hit the fan. And when she does, she's a completely different person. Honestly, I don't think she's inherently bad. I just think that she's just very, very angry.
Hurricane Toya didn't swear live on television, which was fantastic. Toya, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have been a fascinating housemate.